arguably the most decorated champion in the history of boxing, regardless of gender, pound for pound great, 7-division champion, undisputed queen at 126 pounds. She defends those titles on Saturday against her old foe, Heather Hardy, who she beat 4 years ago back in 2019. Here she is, the pride of Puerto Rico and New York, Amanda Serrano.
Stop, Ari. I'll keep
going. It's so great to see you again.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great. Thank God.
What about this scene for an open workout? You've been in fighting a long time.
Yes.
You guys got a ramp and everything.
I know.
This is tremendous,
like
right?
Fight night. It's getting you ready for fight night.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing. You know, MVP, they do it over the top always.
They do, and they just signed a new prospect, Juana Walton, as well. Your stable is growing. Big things for you. So let me ask you this, and I'm told there's some breaking news. I want to get to that in a moment. I'm very excited about this, but I do want to ask you about this fight. Yes, I'm very excited about it. I do want to ask you about this fight. Why Heather Hardy? Why did you take this route?
Well, Heather Hardy, she gave me the opportunity I wanted to become undisputed champion, and she had one of the belts. Me being the WBO super champion, you know, and knowing Heather is a tough warrior, we asked Heather, you want to fight? And of course she said yes. And you know, giving her this fight, right now I'm in a position where I have a great platform. This is not a mandatory defense. So I wanted to be on the Jake Paul, Nate Diaz card, because who doesn't? And I said, you know, Heather, now that I have a great team that's willing and able to pay, you deserve it, because we struggle the same. Going into the sport, it wasn't easy. So now she's getting her biggest payday, and I'm happy to help her and give her that.
Wow, this is the biggest payday of her career.
I believe so.
Wow.
I personally, I think so. I can't.
Yeah. but she is an OG. You're an OG.
Yeah.
It's nice to see how far women's boxing has come. That you guys would be a co-feature on a card like this. That is tremendous. And let me ask you, because you are a big favorite going into this fight, and everyone's talking about how you're just going to steamroll right through her. I know you have a ton of respect for her, but does that ever kind of creep into your brain where you have to push it out and be like, no, she is a fighter. She could catch me. I can't overlook what she brings to the table.
This is boxing. That's how upset happens, when you're not concentrating on your opponent. You know, I always respect my opponents no matter who they are, and I just go out there and I train my hardest. I train, you know, everything's on the line. Those are my babies. I work super hard for those, and I'm not just gonna let anybody just run over and just take them from me. So, you know, I'm training hard. Even though I did beat her, I'm still training super hard.
Right. I had a bunch of pundits up here with me, Ade Oladipo, Akim Barak, and we all were talking about you at length. And we both said, if we had a dream for you at some point, maybe end of the year, and we both, I said 3, 2, 1, let's see if we all think the same thing, opponent. And each one of us said Alicia Baumgardner. That to me could be one of the best fights in the history of women's boxing, and one of the best fights made, period, right now. Do you have interest in that fight?
Listen, I'm the fighter. I train and I fight. Whatever my trainer, Jordan Maldonado, manager, what he decides is what I do. But I think it will be a great fight if we get paid what we deserve.
Okay. Now, regardless of who you fight next, you in Puerto Rico has to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
I saw you at the WWE event. Like, I saw that crowd there. Bad Bunny comes out. Like, could you imagine Bad Bunny walking you out?
I know.
Like we saw Eminem last week with Terrence Crawford. Could that happen in Puerto Rico? I think the place would explode.
Yeah, that's what we're working on. That's
Really?
Well, you know, obviously I have to get through Saturday night, but that's definitely my dream and wish, my homecoming, being undisputed champion, fighting for the first Puerto Rican undisputed champion, fighting in the biggest arena in Puerto Rico, in the Choliseo. That's definitely a dream. Being at the WWE event, I spoke to Damian Priest afterwards.
Yeah.
And he said he can retire and live a happy life, because the atmosphere, it was truly amazing. And he said that was his first time fighting there, so he was like, it was the best experience that he had.
The crowd was incredible. The uno, dos, all that stuff. I loved it. I loved it so much. Now, I teased some breaking news regarding Amanda Serrano. Let's get to the breaking news. Frank, do we have breaking news music? We have the breaking news music. You can't hear it. We have everything. Here it is. I'm going to announce it, or do you want to announce it? I think it's better if you announce it. They told me to announce it. Yeah, tell the world. What's the breaking news? What's the big thing that Amanda Serrano wants the world to know right now?
Well, I am officially signed to the PFL company, and I'm proud to be part of great talented from in that company, as well as Jake Paul. So I'm excited to be part of the PFL family.
Okay, that's massive. Congratulations. I have been you had a nice little run in MMA, and I know you were kind of doing it because maybe you weren't getting the paydays that you wanted in boxing. You're certainly getting that now. Why are you coming back to MMA? Why are you signing with PFL? And you're not leaving boxing. You're gonna do. You're the Bo Jackson of combat sports. You do both. But why sign with PFL? Why even consider a return to MMA?
Well, you know, MMA is an amazing sport. You know, I have so much respect for MMA fighters. Actually doing it, coming from boxing, I said, wow. I was like, you know, to me, I was like, leave me in boxing. Boxing's so much easier. But I love the challenge of MMA. I love that I get to do different things, challenge myself, learn new things in MMA. And, you know, winning fights by submission was actually cool to me because I win fights by decision or knockout, but winning by submission, it felt a little better. I was like, this is so super cool. But signing with PFL, I remember seeing the company and how they have an amazing where the women was actually fighting for an opportunity to win $1 million, as well as the men. And you're not seeing that in boxing, where women now are getting opportunities to make money in the sport. So that really intrigued me into PFL. And obviously, my manager, Jake Paul, is signed with PFL as well.
Yeah, so he heads up their super fight pay-per-view division, and I understand you're going to be a part of that as well. Do you know yet when you may debut for PFL?
No, I have no idea. I signed the contract because once they said PFL, I said, let's do it.
Okay.
And I'm excited to go back to MMA, you know. It's a totally different sport than boxing. They have an amazing fan base as well. I know you're a big MMA fan, so it's something different, and I would love to win over some MMA fans as well.
I think you will very easily. I was told either late this year or 2024 for the debut. Up in the air.
I just signed the contract.
Okay, fair enough. What weight do you think you'll compete at?
Well, I'm assuming my featherweight. Well, no, featherweight is different than MMA.
Yeah, so it would be flyweight. 125. Would you be interested in 35, or is that too big for MMA with the wrestling and everything? Yeah. Okay, so 125 you'd like. And
the MMA, they're little with their weight division.
Yes.
A little crazy. And
10 pounds
and
between.
And the wrestlers, they know how to cut that weight fast.
Right. Is it possible that after Saturday, the next time we see you in action will be in MMA and not boxing? Is that possible?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Do you think you will fight again this year in boxing?
I'm not sure. I don't think so either.
Okay. Is it possible? You talked about Heather Hardy. You have a lot of respect. She's fought in MMA as well. Maybe you guys do the last time in MMA.
Maybe she feels she'll have a shot in MMA with me. You never know.
Right. Do you have like a dream opponent in mind in MMA?
No, not at the moment.
There's no one that you would say, I would love to fight them in a cage? There's no one that you would say, I would love to fight them in a MMA fight. I would love to fight them.
Not right now, because I'm getting back into it.
That's
so give me a couple of
fair.
times.
Your last MMA fight was a few years ago. Have you kept up with, like, you do any of the ground stuff?
Yeah, very little.
Okay.
I still try to kick every now. After I work out with boxing, I try to throw some kicks at the bag so I can just keep the flexibility. My nephew, he's actually going to jiu-jitsu and wrestling school, so I will go with him. And I'm a hands-on learner, but I like to visually watch too. So I will watch him and I'll learn that way as well.
Okay. And did you ultimately, was this something that you thought of, or did they come to you with the idea and say, are you interested? Like, did you have that itch to do this? Because things are going so well for you in boxing. It's almost like you don't really need to do MMA anymore. That's why I have a lot of respect for this decision.
No, yeah, I've always said I want to be remembered, or I want to be known as a combat legend, a combat, all-around athlete. So, it was always a dream when I started MMA to become an MMA champion and a boxing world champion. So anything that I put myself into, I want to be the best at, or trying to accomplish a goal. So I definitely would love to win a title in MMA.
Wow.
But I just want to be known as a...
Yeah, you can have a run like Holly Holm had in MMA, right? She's a Hall of Fame boxer. You are going to be one, obviously, and she's now going to be a Hall of Famer in MMA because of what she did. Well, we'll save that talk for another day. For now, it's Saturday. It's Heather Hardy, August 5th on DAZN pay-per-view. Always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Good luck to you. It's an honor to talk to you and to watch you. I can't wait to do it one more time on Saturday. All right, there she is, the real deal, Amanda Serrano. You can just put that down. Thank you so much, Amanda. Good luck to her. Obviously, a massive opportunity for her anytime she gets to compete on a Jake Paul card.